Right, hello everyone. Forex expats back here again. I'm just making sure this stream's working okay. So right, okay. So today, what was I going to say? Oh, that's it. Okay. So let's go back to this. I had this trade on from yesterday. I posted on this on TradingView. So that would have been after my stream, because I would have mentioned. Oh no. Anyway, I posted this on TradingView, and it was a sell limit 0.9919, and I actually didn't think that was going to get activated. Okay. I don't exactly know where. This is a 15-minute chart. I know. Well, anyway, it started hovering around the bottom, and I thought we were going to be about 20 pips shy when the data would have come out. And if that had been the case, I would have cancelled the trade, because it's only going to go up if the data is inflation is higher than expected, which means I don't want to be in that trade. But anyway, it activated literally, I think, 10 or 20 minutes before. And if you have a look at my Twitter. Right, okay, so my sell limit trade has been activated. But there was so it's 20 minutes before it got activated. And because you're so close to the entry, I don't generally like trading news, but sometimes you can't avoid it. So anyway, what I was going to say was, if it was over, if inflation, because you have different types of high impact data. You have like interest rate decisions, which is basically gambling. You have CPI, which is close to gambling, but at least you have more control, as it were. And then you have like retail sales and things like that. So retail sales are a jerk reaction, but because it's so volatile, it can come back to where price action was before the data. But CPI inflation, that interests banks, and obviously it's if you're on the wrong side of that, you literally want to get out. So that was it. It was higher than expected, so I felt it's just best to get out, you know. And that's what I did. Now, fortunate enough, I got in at 0.9919, and I think it was about 6 pips lower, if I recall. So because I normally position it at double top, I did actually a pip before. So when the data came out, I already had like a 5 or 6 pip cushion, which isn't much at the end of the day. But if there's a jerk reaction, I might only be 3 or 4 or 5 pips down. If you just get out quick, don't hesitate, don't think about it. If you get a jerk reaction of 10 pips, then you know it's over, and it's just get out. Now, whereas if it had been online, the consensus was correct, you would never get a knee-jerk reaction of 10 or 15 pips. So that's actually what happened. And I got out, I think it was a 3 pip. Yeah, I got out for a 3 pip loss, which is 0.95%, which was annoying because it was my first loss this month. But 3 pips and 0.95 relative to a month's trading is nothing, and I can obviously live with that. So that's what it was. Like I said, it was annoying, but because I was on 100% record, but what can you do? So basically that's why I got out, and then we'll just go from there. So now where's it going to go? This particular trade had been trading sideways, and it was so it's been ranging sideways since like May. So it's June, July, August. It's like 3 months, right? And then at some time it's going to fail. But there's an old saying: if it's not broken, don't fix it, or something like that. Some English saying. So that's how it was. But anyway, you take the loss. It's only a few pips. It's nothing relative to the account. And now, as you can see, we've had a break of structure. I've not actually updated my charts yet because I will actually do that tomorrow. And what I do is I screenshot a lot of the charts to explain to you what I mean. This is the Aussie Canadian range trend that I've been watching. And obviously I've got range, and so I won't be updating this until all these details are complete, because I still want to keep the old lines in, because if I start updating it, break of structure, it gets too complicated. And if I was to look back 1, 2, 3 weeks later, I might not see the initial picture. So once I take all my photos tomorrow morning, or to see the outcome, that's when I'll do it. Okay, right, if anyone's watching my stream, welcome. If you're new, I was just explaining my Aussie Canadian. This range has held for 3 months, and it's broke a structure to the upside. So this is the first time in a few months. So if you're new to my stream, just say hello. I used to stream 3 or 4 years ago, and I've just started again because I went traveling, so I gave it up. Okay. So this I'm going to probably do 1 hour a day during the week, or if there's an interesting setup, then I might stream an hour before I take the trade. But this is the trade that I did, and I published it. By the way, if you're new to my, obviously most of you will be new to my channel, I publish all my trades online. I have done for over a year now. Okay, and it goes through in all details what they were. I've got 2 membership, a basic and a premium membership. Okay, and I publish everything. I don't know anyone else that does that. Okay, and over the prior 12 months, I made 20.6% profit, but that's based on 1% default. So per trade. So if you trade like 2% a trade or 3%, you can just times that by 1, 2, or 3. So this all comes down to how much percent you do each trade. So basically, if you'd have copied me and you only traded 1% a trade, you'd have made 20%. If you use 2% default per trade, it'd been 40%. And this is all you can look on Twitter, and you can see it's all genuine. I've not like made it up. Okay, but I do trade on the bigger time frames. Well, that's where at least I look for my trades. But then I enter on the small one. Okay, so that was the Australian dollar Canadian. Right, so as I was explaining, now I'm out of this trade, but there's one thing I want to be keeping an eye on. Okay, here we have an interesting, this area here. Right, this area has a gap open, and more often than not, at some time in the future, it acts as a magnet, so this gap will fall. But this gap was opened by political, and they are sometimes one of the most dangerous gaps, because politics comes first, and then like fundamentals, I guess. And then third is just a general gap open over the weekend because of some small time news. But politics can be the worst. And so this might not get filled for a long time. But anyway, quite often when you starts a retracement, providing it has gone up too much, there is a good chance it's going to get filled. And that's some 75 pips lower than what we are now. As it is, we're so overbought. I wouldn't even entertain it. I'd want this at least to correct itself, and then maybe start looking. So as it is now, I'm not really interested. Okay, so if anyone's new is looking at my stream, just say hello in the chat, right? I trade basically every pair. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I think it's about 25. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 24, 25, 26, 7. So it's around 28. I thought it was 25. So I trade around 28 pairs, but I have a particular type of style. If I only ever trade like GU, for example, my setup only comes out once or twice a month. And I'm not going to wait all month for a setup. Whereas by trading them all, I get one trade per pair per month, which gives me 25 trades a month. Not every pair has one setup. Sometimes it might happen 2 or 3 times. But that generally gives me 25, 30 trades a month, and then I might trade 20 of them. This month's been a slow month. It's just started to pick up. And I've only done 7 trades. Last month did 16, another month 20, 13, okay, 14. So I guess I'm averaging around 14, 15 a month, something like that. Okay. Which is 1 every 2 days. Okay. Now, not only do I publish all my trades, the biggest problem with trading is the human factor. And once you're in a trade, sometimes the human element can, like, you close a trade early or whatever, you know. So I started this other feature. Where are we? Where once a trade is open, so this is my normal. These are my normal trades, right? Everything I do here is obviously down to me. But this emotionless trading, once I've actually opened a trade, I'm not allowed to touch it. So all activated trades must reach their profit target or obviously get stopped out, or they will be closed at the end of the trading month, because I like to keep it clean, you know. So I closed at the end of the trading month at 23.30. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but that basically means half an hour before the end of the trading week. Because if you close it literally a minute before, you're going to get a worse spread. So I try to do it 15, 20 minutes before that. And that's the point, and you need an exact time. So that's when I close the trade at the end of the month, and then obviously work out all my figures. Now, what I do is once it reaches 1% profit, because it'd be annoying to be like 1 or 2% profit and then come back and get stopped out. Once 1% profit's been reached, it activates a trailing stop. Okay, and as you can see, the US dollar Swiss franc, I bought this last week, and the trailing stop got activated. I think it was yesterday. In fact, actually, I'll just update. I haven't updated this. So the high was 80.42. 80.42. 80.42 is 20. That would be 80.30. Ah, maybe I've got an extra. Right, okay, so 80.42. I can update this. Right. 75 is 30, so that's 12 pips profit. The trading stop will be 67. Because the trading stop is 12 pips in profit, therefore my trading stop will be 79.67, and 12 divided by 57, oh no, 75, sorry, equals, is that right? 12, no, that can't be right, made a mistake. So 12 pips divided by 75 equals 0.16, is that right? So 0.16. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, 0.16. Right, so let's update. Right, let me just update this. Right, okay, so right, okay, let's just check to make sure it's updated. To go back to my, which is, if you're new to this channel, I keep I have a Twitter account, and this is where I publish everything. For example, the Aussie dollar Canadian, I published it yesterday. And so it's all legit. Tells you of the trade. I did that on TradingView also. Keeps you up to date with notes. And then so that's what I do. Right. Right. Where's my Emotionless Trading? Right, okay, here it is, Emotionless Trading. This is the link copy, this is not my own personal copy. Right, okay, so that's been updated. Okay, so if you were to click that link, that's actually what you would see. Whereas the one I showed before was obviously my master. Okay, so this is what I do then. I keep track of everything, and as you can see, the 1% profit has been reached, and a 1% trading stop has been activated, and TS means trading stop. Now this Aussie dollar, Aussie Canadian, because I've stopped the trade, all right, as you can see, I had a 3 pip loss a 0.05%. But on the emotionless trading, I can't do that. I have to let the trade complete. So that actually now is in 40 pip loss. So that, I'm going to get stopped out at 76. And it's now at 57. So that actually might get stopped out. But that's just unfortunate. There's nothing I can do that. And actually be my first stop out this month. I'm 2% in front this month, this emotionless trading. But, well, anyway, so that's basically what I do. I keep track of everything that I publish. And over the year, I'm up 20% based on 1% default. So if you trade 2% of trade and you're copying BP40, etc., etc. So anyway, like I said, if you're new to my stream or you're watching, just say hello in the chat, okay? If you've got any questions, you can obviously just ask me. Right, other than that, let's have a look what I've got, what's on the... So the trades that I might be interested in are the ones actually in green. So the pound dollar is made a break of structure, and once you get a break of structure, especially on the daily, and that's travelled a long distance, a lot of people would take profits there. So it's broke it once. I've actually been waiting for that to go back up again, so you get like a little double top, but it's not actually happened yet. And I've got a feeling this will go up because the price action's been going sideways, and quite often when it goes sideways, it's like a little bit like a bull flag or something. You get that next push up. So is there any data today? Okay, so there's PCE data today, later today, 8:30. This is obviously my time because I'm in the Philippines. That's like in 3.5 hours, 4 hours. So there's a good chance actually, if the data's weak, and that could push that pound dollar up to basically create some form of double top, and then depending on what happens, then I might take a short, but that'll be later on today. I'm a little bit reluctant to because I've made 1.3% this month, so the last thing I want to do is have a losing trade. And my aim is 2% a month, but because it's been slow, I'm quite happy with 1.3. And then when it's back to normal, I'll aim for my 2 or 3% a month. Well, anyway, we'll see what happens later on. But if I get the chance, I might take a quick trade. The dollar Swiss franc. This is one of my premier trades that I did, what was it, 5 days ago now. I actually bought it at 0.7955. It was an amazing trade, and the low was 0.79, basically 50. So I caught the low within 5 pips. So the Aussie dollar is approaching quite a big fib level, and I've got a funny feeling when this Aussie US dollar reaches this fib level, I will see where all the other dollar pairs are, and then I will probably sell. I probably would sell one or buy the dollar on one of them. So again, if you're new to the stream, just say hello, right? You know, or even if you're one of my old subscribers, come and say hello. It's always like this when you start off fresh, you know. Sometimes you feel like you're talking to yourself. All right, dollar Canadian. So at the moment, the only thing I'm interested in is basically buying the dollar. But I really could do with seeing another break of structure to the upside. What data do we have tomorrow? Well, we've got PCE today. But tomorrow, just normal continuing jobs, inflation rate out of Europe, unemployment. Okay, we've got some Canadian GDP. Okay, and Fed chair. That could affect the dollar actually, because he was quite, the Fed minutes I felt were quite bullish on the dollar. But because they deliberately bought them, what was it, treasuries at double the rate, that's obviously creates dollar weakness. That was all planned. The timing was just, they could have done that any other day of the week, but they deliberately done it on FOMC minutes. That's just strategy. That's nothing more than manipulation. That's what I believe anyway. Right, I'm going to make a post on my Twitter. I should have done this before, but I didn't. Post drafts. Right, let me just get the code. Right, let me just get the. Right, okay, so. The thing is, when you post a YouTube external link, Twitter doesn't really like it. So let's just put this in my my Discord as well. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll get a couple of people in. Right, so if this is the first time you watch my stream, just come and say hello, okay? But like it said, later on today, or unless this New Zealand dollar, US dollar goes to the top, I will be hopefully looking at buying the dollar. I do believe it's overextended at the moment, and it is at the top of its recent range. So it's gone basically right to the very bottom. Now we're back up to the top, and this top area is where I start to look for possible sells. None of the RSIs are overbought or whatever. So I think the next minor high will be a good area. And when I look at all the other dollar pairs, they all look overextended as well. So I think now is a very good chance to start looking. It might coincide actually with this Australian dollar US dollar reaching this fib level. That's still got a few pips to go. Alright, so if anyone's in my chat, just say hello, will you? And then if you've got any questions, just fire away. I'm actually based in the Philippines, which is why you've got that background picture. I tried this like Chroma plugin. I downloaded it yesterday. So I'm just trying it on OBS now, but I feel like it's working, but maybe I need my face to be a little bit lighter. Maybe it's because my room's a little bit dark. Let me just turn the light on. I had one light on. Okay, that's a little bit better. But I'll put the main lights on so the room's really lit up. Okay, you can see it a little bit better. Right, other than that, I just flick through the pairs to see anything catches my attention. Right, see, I usually trade like this. Whenever I get a break of structure, once it comes back down to the 78.6 fib level, that's an area of interest. Because for the trend to then continue, that's when you would expect buyers to step in. But it never quite made it on this pair. All right, the pound, extend that channel. All right, Aussie dollar, New Zealand dollar. That's starting to get, if you get another minor break of structure, that would be a good place to look. The Euro, Aussie. Actually, let me look at all the Aussie pairs. Because of the inflation data today, the hot inflation data, that could have pushed a few pairs. All right, so that's against the US dollar. That's close to strong resistance now. Right, the Aussie Canadian we looked for that one. The Aussie New Zealand. So we're back up to the 50 daily moving average. The Aussie yen. It's a little bit too steep. Okay, so we'll wait for another break of structure there. This will probably all coincide. Once you get a break of structure on the yen, it's also just happened on the Aussie Canadian. And then once you make a new high here, that's probably where this currency pair is going for. That's probably its target, and then it will start slowing down. So it's basically going to be in the next 2 or 3 days, probably next week, where this pair will be might be something interesting to look at. Right, so back up the highs again. Right, it's starting to struggle now, this pair. Well, I've got no intentions of selling it, not yet anyway. But because I had that sell trade on this morning, or from yesterday, then I just want to keep an eye on it, you know, see what's going on. Right, okay, so that's all the Aussie pairs. Which one's dropped quite a lot today? New Zealand's dropped quite a lot today. So right, we had a break of structure to the downside. I'm a little bit reluctant on the yen pairs at the moment, especially with intervention and everything. So I haven't traded them as often as what I usually do. But this has made a break of structure to the downside, and now it's come all the way back up, and we're approaching this fib level. So I do expect price action to slow down, and you can see already the last 4 or 5 days, it's gone basically sideways. So this could be an area. The pound has literally, that's basically hit it. So the high was 47, and oh, that's right, yeah, it broke it already, and I've just set another alert. I've got a funny feeling all the yen pairs are back at the top of the range. And it wouldn't surprise me if something happens. Wow, this is how much Twitter suppresses. I got four impressions. Normally I'd have like 30 by now. I think it was that right, ants. So we're slowly working up our way again to make another break of structure on the Swiss franc pairs. I might just get some water. 31st. So includes Mondays. Right, okay, that's good. Right, if anyone should pass by, it's my channel, just say hello. I've been trading for like 20 odd years, but the last 3 or 4 years, I guess, full time now. And I publish all my trades online so that you can see for yourself. So there's a link in the pinned comments, and there's an Excel sheet link that you can see basically every trade that I've done for the last 12 months, including the ones I lose, and obviously the ones I make a profit. And at the end of the last 12 months, I made a profit of 20.6%, but that's based on 1% default. If you're someone who trades 2%, then you'd have been up 40% over the year. If you do 3% default, then it's obviously 60%. But that's like illustration purposes. So anyway, so I made 20.63 at 1%. And you can check on my Twitter feed, and just to give you an example. So on my Twitter feed, I posted this. Let me have a look. This is my time, 10:14 a.m. That would have been 3 a.m. UTC. Okay, this was obviously yesterday, and then obviously you get the update. That tells you the exact trade, because you've got the picture. That tells you the exact trade, and then it got activated yesterday. Oh no, first thing this morning, sorry, or yesterday UTC time, and then I closed it. So basically, I publish everything, and you can check. You can check yourself. I don't know any other trader that actually does that. If you do know someone that keeps all their published all their trades, let me know. Be interesting to see how they trade and obviously everything. But for now, the market's slowed down considerably. You always get that like a little bit of volatility early on in your London session, but doesn't it like something's now nothing's going to happen. So it looks like everyone's going to be waiting 3 hours from now. Right, if anyone's watching, just say hello, okay? Just started streaming again after about 3 or 4 year gap. And I trade the bigger time frames. I know a lot of people like to trade gold at the moment. It seems to be like the latest, more of a fashion to the old style Forex that I was used to. Looks like it's going to be a quiet day. Volatility has really slowed down. Ah, okay, that's better. Top chart. Oh, nice. Okay. Well, it looks like it's going to be a little bit too quiet today. But anyway, it's a little bit quiet today now. So I'm going to stop the stream. Okay, have a great day streaming, everyone, and hopefully catch you another day. Take care.